Welcome back to Spark Studios, where my goal is to create content that helps spark your ideas. In this video series, we will be breaking down concepts in popular books related to business and entrepreneurship. The book we are referencing today is The Personal MBA, written by Josh Kaufman. Studies have shown rereading books significantly improves memory retention and conceptual understanding. Therefore, instead of providing basic summaries of books, I believe it's just as important to cover high yield concepts that can be practical and relatable to your own personal life and problems. The topic of discussion today is the iteration cycle. In today's rapidly changing environment, perfectionism is unrealistic. Companies that wait to launch the perfect product often find themselves outmaneuvered by competitors who embrace continuous improvement. One of my favorite ideas is from Naval Ravikant, who states it is not about the rule of 10,000 hours, but 10,000 iterations. An iteration, in a nutshell, is a structured approach to making anything better over time. So, whether you're developing a new product, refining a service, or improving processes related to yourself or your business, takes action and reflection to improve. The iteration cycle acknowledges a fundamental truth, which is that nobody gets it right the first time. Unlike the traditional schooling system, which focuses on grades and passing, a business mindset embraces imperfection, using feedback as a data source to guide future actions. The ultimate outcome is to make something more valuable, which takes time, trials, and errors. As we continue on with the video, think about how you can iterate in your own life. In his book, Kaufman breaks down the iteration cycle into 6 actionable steps using the acronym and framework WIGWAM. The first W stands for watch. Observe what's happening, what is working, and what's not. This observation phase requires honest assessment of your current performance. Think about ways and how you can gather your data. You need an objective lens to understand what's going on so you can identify strengths, weaknesses, and areas to improve. I stands for ideate. If you are to improve, how can you improve it? If if the watch phase identified kinks in your armor or flaws to your systems, what are your options to improve? You need time to reflect and brainstorm potential solutions. There are always multiple approaches and ways to address issues. It's important to stay open-minded, think outside the box while thinking about solutions. G stands for guess. Based on the data you've collected so far, which of your ideas do you think will make the biggest impact? The step involves prioritizing your options and making educated predictions about which changes will be the most effective for long term solutions. What are the next few steps that will yield the most results? Visualize the 80-20 principle. What 20% actions will make 80% of the results? The second W stands for which. Decide which change to make. After evaluating your options, commit to a specific course of action. The key is choosing one clear change to implement rather than trying to fix everything at once. You need to be able to reflect upon which actions are actually making the biggest difference in your processes. A stands for act. Actually implement the change in your existing process. You will learn more and receive more feedback from your environment when action is taken. Execution allows you to make a firm decision instead of second guessing, and then whatever you decide will give you the feedback to determine if what you altered from an action standpoint was beneficial or not. Lastly, M stands for measure. Based on the change you implemented, what actually happened as a result? Was the change positive or negative? Should you keep the change or go back to how things were prior to your iteration? How did you measure the change, and is this the correct course in your changing actions? Lastly, how can actions be measured in the future? You can see how this framework walks you through an actionable sequence. Analysis paralysis is real in today's society. It's more important now than ever to take action instead of overthinking. When it comes to business, think of failure as just a form of feedback. It does not mean you personally failed, it just means that you did not get the action you originally sought for. Learning to think in this sequence, no matter what venture you are involved in life, is important. Eventually, it will lead to better and improved outcomes. To take this a step further, the faster you move through the iteration cycle, the more quickly you'll improve any offering. The personal MBA defines this concept as iteration velocity. The speed advantage becomes particularly important when developing new products, services, and entering competitive markets. Companies who can iterate faster will increase their overall chances to succeed. The iteration cycle fundamentally shifts your mindset from perfectionism to progress. Rather than trying to create the final version immediately, iteration allows you to learn and improve in increments. Each cycle provides real market feedback and validation before major resource commitments. Thomas Edison captured this philosophy perfectly with the following quote: "I have not failed, I just found 10,000 ways that won't work." See how you can apply these principles to your own life. Start small with your first iteration cycle and try to implement the wigwam method. The goal is not perfection, it's progress, reflection, and learning. Do not judge yourself and focus on taking action. As you become more comfortable with the process, you can tackle larger improvements and run multiple iteration cycles simultaneously across different aspects of your life or business. As with anything in life, this is a skill, and by doing this, you will learn competitive advantage. Thank you for listening to Spark Studios, where my goal is to help spark your ideas. If you are gaining knowledge and benefiting from the content of this channel, please subscribe for more thought leadership content like this. Thank you.